Hi, guys. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rebekah, and I am an empath on my own healing journey of healing codependency. And I am making a series of videos for people who feel deeply, who have spent most of their lives being in service to everyone else but themselves first. It's like drinking from an empty cup. This episode feels really important because rebuilding self trust as an empath might be one of the hardest things to heal. When you have spent your whole life reading everyone else's emotions, anticipating needs, staying hyper aware of other people's moods, you slowly stop listening to yourself. And if you're lucky, you realize that that's even happening. But usually you might not even know who you are outside of other people. It can create this quiet lack of identity, and it feels normal. It feels like your everyday reality. So you don't even question it. As empaths, we are deeply and incredibly intuitive. But when we grow up in environments where our feelings were minimized, dismissed, misunderstood, we start to question our own instincts. You might notice you second guess your own gut feelings. You ignore physical tension in your own body, and you'll override every red flag around you. You rationalize behaviors that don't even feel right. Sometimes we call this compassion, but often it's actually self-abandonment. Over time, your nervous system, it learns it's safer to prioritize others than it is to listen to yourself. And that creates this kind of smoky mirror effect where everything feels distorted. You can't tell what's real, what's fear, and what's actually intuition. This is where the self trust actually fractures. Self trust doesn't actually start in the mind, it starts in the body. Your body is always telling the truth, even when you don't want to hear it. There's always symptoms of a tight chest or a heavy stomach or a clenched jaw, maybe fatigue after certain interactions, or calm around certain people. Whatever the signals are, it's all data. And sometimes the body's signals are very obvious. Sometimes they're not. And sometimes they're very extreme. And sometimes we miss them. Empaths are excellent at reading emotional energy, but rebuilding trust means learning to read your own energy and your own nervous system cues. And here's the thing, you don't want to analyze everything. That can throw you back into your mind and keep you stuck there. This is about body awareness. This is about noticing the cues in the body. And the more that you practice noticing it, the more you strengthen that relationship with yourself. And it's completely automatic as soon as you start practicing this. Think about a time in your life when your body knew something before your mind did. A moment where you felt tension, or you knew something bad was going to happen, or you had a hesitation, but you talked yourself out of it. You made an excuse just to stay safe. This is where self trust begins to rebuild. The next time you choose to listen, and I'm going to tell you, it's not going to look perfect. You're not going to catch it every time either. When you notice it, but you still don't act on it, you have to give yourself grace because it is a process. And awareness is actually the first layer in that process. And eventually, you get so fed up when you start noticing everything all the time that you will actually make that change one of those moments. I want to talk about something that changed everything for me: evident versus fantasy. Empaths can confuse potential with reality. We see someone, what someone could be. We feel their pain, we imagine their growth, and we believe in a version of them that hasn't shown up consistently. But self trust requires something more grounding. evidence, not promises, not chemistry, not intensity, not spiritual language, but patterns. What are they consistently doing? When you rebuild your self-trust, you have to start asking, how does my body feel around them? Am I calm or am I activated? I wish I would have known this sooner. The last relationship I was in lasted about a year and a half. The person I was dating was in complete disguise. My body was in constant anxiety. I was stuck in this mental loop and I couldn't understand why I felt terrible physically. Because on the outside, the connection looked really good, almost too good to be true. That person painted this whole picture of who they were through storytelling. And I believed it. I never slowed down long enough to gather evidence. I never asked deeper questions. I never checked in with people who actually knew them. Eventually, I found out that the stories weren't even true. They were created to keep me in disillusionment, to keep me trapped. And when the truth came out, I realized my whole body knew the whole time. That experience hurt, but it also rebuilt something in me. It forced me to start trusting my body over words that other people say. You know that saying, actions speak louder than words? It's true. For many empaths, there's a pattern, and this pattern looks like this: overextending, overgiving, feeling unseen, trying harder, and then there's the burnout. And then you blame yourself and you take full responsibility of that blame. The self-trust totally interrupts the cycle. It says, I don't have to earn safety any longer. I don't have to prove my self-worth anymore. I don't have to override my discomfort. Reprogramming actually happens very slowly. It happens when you leave earlier than you used to. When you say no instead of saying yes. When you pause instead of reacting. When you sit in the discomfort instead of rescuing. It feels so unnatural at first, only because our nervous system is used to chaos feeling like connection. But calm is not boring. Calm is actually safe. I just wanted to add something personal here. So I have been using somatic breathwork for, I would say it's been about 5 years now. And it has actually helped me to build resilience in my body so I could show up and do really hard things. It's a very different type of breath work. It's more activating. It's very powerful. It helps move emotions, or stuck emotions, I should say. And it can bring a lot of clarity to a person. But because of the intensity of the breath work, it actually shouldn't be done all the time. I spent time being trained in it, and in the future, I'm going to be offering this type of breath work along with other type of breath works, because not every nervous system needs an intense breath work. Some nervous systems that could totally fry them. So for those nervous systems that are a little more anxious and are looping and can't really settle down, a more calming, restorative type of breath work will be more appropriate. But regardless of the type of breath work, they both are really good to learn how to work with your body instead of overriding it, and learning the capacity and giving strength, and then really being able to stay present in the uncomfortable conversation instead of collapsing or overgiving in a situation. Rebuilding self-trust isn't loud. It's quiet. It's noticing the breath. It's honoring the no. It's walking away without explaining yourself into exhaustion. As an empath, your sensitivity is not the problem. The healing comes when the sensitivity is anchored in self-trust. And if you are right in the middle of this right now, You're not behind, you're learning. And that's powerful. And it says a whole lot about you. Thank you for being here. In the next episode, we're going to talk about regulating the empath nervous system. Talk about, like I said earlier, different types of breath work, meditations, different movements, emotional safety, because self trust becomes much easier when your body feels safe. I'll see you guys in the next episode 9. Bye.